Jhalkaribai. Born in the shadows of Jhansi, she was the warrior woman who bewildered empires, the fearless soldier who fought not for glory but for loyalty. Betrayal, bloodshed, and sacrifice. Her tale is etched into the very earth she died defending. But who was Jhalkaribai? Born into a Dalit family, the world had already created rules for her. No school, no education. But limitations never suited her spirit. Her father, recognizing the fire in her eyes, took her education into his own hands. Not the one of letters and numbers, but the language of survival. He taught her to fight, to ride horses, make weapons, and use them like a born warrior. Even as a youth, her courage was the stuff of legends, whispered around hearts and echoed across the plains of Jhansi. The tale of the ill-fated night when the dacoits attacked the land and how she stood between them and her beloved village was a tale of the century. It said that she fought like a storm that night, scaring and scarring and scattering the dacoits back to the shadows they came from. But the tale that transcended even the hills and reached the halls of Jhansi's fort was how Jhalkaribai, with an axe she carried to cut wood, fought a violent and bloodthirsty tiger and killed it all by herself. From that day on, she was no ordinary woman. She was a legend, and her legend spread like wildfire, and it even reached the ears of Rani Laxmibai. Curiosity peaked within the queen. Wasting no time, Rani Laxmibai summoned Jhalkaribai and made her an offer she couldn't refuse: a place in the women's wing of her army. Under the queen's guidance, Jhalkaribai's skills were honed to perfection. Swordplay became her second nature. Archery turned into a deadly art in her hands. There existed no martial arts she didn't know of, and there existed nothing that could terrify her. But in 1858, the winds of war howled through Jhansi. British Field Marshal Hugh Rose marched towards the fort with his army of vast and well-armed soldiers. Within those ancient walls stood Rani Laxmibai. She wasn't scared, neither an ounce of regret either. For the battle-ready Jhalkaribai was by her side with her battle-hardened heart, and the 4,000 loyal warriors behind her, and their steady breathing was like a hymn that ignited her. Above all, she knew her ally Peshwa Nana Sahib would join her very soon with his force to defend her home and honor. But hope turned to dust. General Hugh Rose, a master tactician, had anticipated this move. Unbeknownst to her, Peshwa Nana Sahib forces were already crippled and defeated, cutting off any hope of reinforcement, leaving Jhansi to stand alone. But Rani Laxmibai wasn't ready to kneel down, not even when an army as vast as an ocean surrounded her fort. The battle for Jhansi began. The cannons roared, shaking the very earth. Arrows darkened the sky. Yet the queen stood tall, with Jhalkaribai leading her warriors. From dawn to dusk they fought, blood soaking the sands, but Jhansi held its ground. The fiercest battles aren't always fought on the battlefield. Sometimes they're waged in the shadows of betrayal. One of her own commanders, a man trusted with the safety of her kingdom, opened the gates, letting the enemy pour in like a flood. Chaos erupted. The British forces swarmed the fort, merciless and overwhelming. Taken by surprise, the defenders of Jhansi faltered. Finally, Jhansi had fallen, not to might, but to treachery. Yet, Jhalkaribai knew what should be shielded no matter what, and it was Rani Laxmibai. With that thought, a daring plan had been set into motion. Wearing Rani Laxmibai's dress and headgear, Jhalkaribai marched straight into the lion's den, General Hugh Rose's camp. The British was shocked to see Rani Laxmibai being so careless by riding into the heart of the battle when all seemed lost. And amid the confusion and chaos, Jhalkaribai slain anyone within her reach, while buying her queen precious time to flee. But the deception could only last so long. British realized the ploy, and soon Jhalkaribai was surrounded and outnumbered. Jhalkaribai fought with the fury of 1,000 warriors until her body could bear no more. On that fateful day, Jhalkaribai fell, her life slipping away amidst the smoke and chaos of war. But her death was not in vain. For her, this was more than a battle. It was a pledge of loyalty, a final act of sacrifice. And she died defending her queen, fighting for her motherland, leaving her spirit forever woven into the soul and soil of Jhansi.